we are live. Hopefully. It looks like we are. All right, so we're going to do some more tracking. I haven't done another one of these. I think I've done 2 of these so far. This is just me kind of processing. I kind of a different format than the other things I'm doing. Live practice of just digesting the song and learning on the spot as much as I can learn on the song. So here I'm taking a couple of these exercises that I'm going to be like, I don't know, for the next hour or so, recording them out, and then later on the road, finalize them into a process where people can practice them. I want to make loops. Loop videos seem to help me a lot. I've had a couple students that recommend them, or not recommend them, but likes them as well. And so it's just a good way for me to get them out, and doing them in this process is kind of, I don't know, just for me interesting. It makes it a bit more engaging. Otherwise, it's like a 3-hour recording by myself hanging out. So with that, if you guys have questions about this song, other songs on drums, gladly answer them as well. And yeah, so it's going to be a little bit different though, because I'm doing 4 exercises, and the only legwork I did is the live videos where I'm like, hey, I need something to get these 16th note kicks down. Actually, I'll show you the finalized idea that we're going for is this beat right here in Smells Like Teen Spirit. So, if you're new to the drums, you haven't really tackled this stuff before, it's good to look at it in a different way. I've had actually quite a few students struggle with just getting this rhythm down. So I came up with 3 different exercises that I think will help us, and I think even filming this will come up with some different ideas as well. So the first thing that I need to really figure out when I'm doing one of these is how many measures do I want to go and what speed. And I think for myself, you need a speed that's really slow and demonstrative, right? Like if it's at full speed, this song's 118. If I do this demo at 118, it's not going to help anybody. It should be play alongable. So I have this set for 45. It seems like a good kind of rough tempo idea. We'll jump into it and see if it is. So we'll just run through exercise 1. Now it's going to take me a bit to just get the groove down, get going. And yeah, this might actually be a 2-parter, just depending on how I want to tackle this. So while we're doing 45 BPM, we're going to see if this is even the right tempo for this idea. It should be slow, and I think of it as plotting. Oftentimes when I have a student do something that's new for the first time, I'm like, don't worry about being in time. Just worry about getting the idea down. 1 E and 2 E and 4 and 1 E and 2. And what's important in my mind is that they can flex a little bit with their timing. They're just trying to learn the idea. Like, what's my hand doing? What's the compensation with my leg? 1 E, 1 E. And so I think all 3 of these kind of draw these ideas out. So we got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. Now, if you can learn how to do that, you can learn how to do the final part, which we'll do at the end as well. All right, so let's just do this on a loop, and we'll see if 45 is even a good tempo for us. 2. So I got 2 measures of clicking. That gives myself, a little time to prepare and relax and get my brain set. 1. Oh. Now with that though, I have to actually look at this and follow along, otherwise I get caught. All right, so 1, 3, 4, and we got 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. Now, it's easy for me to make a lot of mistakes. Maybe you guys aren't this way. I get caught thinking about 1 E and a 2 E, and I'm not paying attention to how many in the loop I'm doing. So what I've noticed is just doing this is ass kicking for me. Like, this really pushes my mental capabilities. But I know if I do 100 of these, if I do 100 live videos, by the time I'm done with these, maybe think of it this way. I'm not good at this. I'm not good in this format. This is a new exercise for me. Doing these things are going to push my drum skill. So same thing for you guys. If it's uncomfortable, it's probably something you got to lean into and just keep doing. So I think I like the tempo. I think it's a good, hey, this is the idea of the exercise we're practicing. We'll see how I do. The 6 in a row have me a little bit like, ugh, it's a lot of counting for my brain. But anyway, we'll give it a try. We can always change the idea to 4. You know, we're making it up as we go along. All right. And then we'll do some listen backs if we're getting a good groove. And, you know, at the end of the day, these are exercises. We can always cheat. We can quantize it. I think to show it to a student or somebody who's working on it, I want it to be really tight rhythmically. Also gives me a chance to evaluate, like, did I play this good or not? So, all right. One final caveat. It doesn't matter if we get to full speed. Like, the faster we can get with these exercises, the better for sure. But even practicing these daily, you know, and maybe this will be a part 1, and then later on I'll do a part 2 to faster tempos. And these kick drum ideas and hi-hat ideas and snare drum ideas will show up in other songs. All right, so bear with me. We'll figure this out and see how it goes. So 2 measures in. 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So not bad, not bad. Lost a little focus, but it's slow, but it's the right amount of slow. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Cool. Felt okay about that one. Let's do a couple more. And 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and that one was shit. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and now I'm just not playing in time. All right, we'll let this one finish out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 E and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. I totally went on autopilot and played it wrong. Now, for some reason, my flex time is still trying to calibrate, but that's okay. All right. So clearly, I need some more work on this exercise. The good thing is, doing these live will force me to actually practice this, and doing a day or so of this. This is a great kick drum exercise, and the more you do it, the better you'll get. All right, we're gonna do another one, and then if this one's not clicking, we'll move on. 1 and 2 and. I went on autopilot again. All right. Focus. Trying to so focused on getting the groove down that I'm not playing the part. And 2 and 4 and 1. And 3 and 4 and. Now, I'm not happy with any of them. We're going to move on and go to the other idea. Come back to this one in a minute. Sometimes that's what you need to do. And I'm still wishy-washy on like a 6 times the right amount. Longer sometimes is better. So I've heard. All right, let's try. So this idea. What I like about this one, we're just going. Now it's going to be difficult. This is slow at 45 BPM, right? What I'm trying to get is that connection of 1E, 2E, 3E. So you get used to that. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and 1E and like that energy between the hands and the feet. If you can really line that up, that timing, it's going to help you. Okay, so same thing. We'll just jump right into recording and try to use the first couple as getting tighter. 2E and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and. So I kind of have this feeling that 45 might be too slow. I'm going to keep on doing a couple more just because I really want to see, like, hey, is this good at 45? Is it terrible at 45? Let's do a listen back and just see. Because I feel like I've played those better in my lives than I'm playing it right now. See, just not with that metronome at all. So kind of, I don't want to give up on the tempo yet because part of it's just me having to do better. And I think I struggle with endurance, especially playing like the same idea over and over again with my feet. This is going to push me, and maybe this is an hour-long session of getting ready to play this better, and then tomorrow just nail this shit. All right, so I want to give up and move on, but we're going to do a couple more. It's the best thing to do. Force yourself. Just got to get that 1E, 2E, 3E, and 3E, and 4E, and 1E, and 2E, and 1E, and 2 and 3E and 4 and 1E and 2E and So definitely say I'm struggling at these tempos. That was better though, so just reeling myself back. So we're just gonna keep going. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So the impatient part of me wants to move to like 55 and see if I can play it better. Let's just listen back. Wasn't pretty, but we'll see. So there's definitely some that are there, and it might just be moving the. So this is the very slow, or supposedly the very slow tempo. We might just move the other one at 55 and see if we like it. All right, so thinking of the same idea, I just got to force myself to do one more. I don't want to. I want to move on, but kind of be cheating myself if we just moved on. So let's just fucking play bad for a while. Totally just ignore that last one. Got to thinking like, I know the end result of this, like really focusing hard on this. Even when I do it in the lives, I focus hard on a section like this, and you just really get tight on it. And then tomorrow morning, I'm just gonna be able to play this at full speed. Not these exercises per se, but like the drum beat. So I have to like rationalize that in my head. Like, hey, it's worth me struggling and sucking because tomorrow it will be better. Like, I have to input that data in my head. All right, we're gonna do this again. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna try exercise number 3 at this tempo before we, quit and just and call it a mistake. It's not a mistake. This is good. This is what needs to happen. And even like the setup for this took me a little bit longer than I wanted to, right? Like it's a new format. Just anything you do like this, it's gonna take you a little bit of time. What I like about this one, exercise number 3, 1 and 2. And then on, I don't want to do a flam there on 4. I just want to do that kick on the end. It's really kind of like forcing you to think independently with this rhythm. All right, so let's just record. We'll do this first one as a warm-up, and wish me luck. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Three and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that was awful, but the good kind of awful. We'll get this better. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and. All right, let's listen back to that one. I have ideas. Like I'm rushing, I'm pushing a little bit. Some of that might be resolved by a faster tempo. Some of it might just be stuff that I have to do here. So definitely heard on those first two. And I don't know if I ever hit this kick. Actually, twice I probably hit this kick right. The other thing that I really like about doing these, as I make that emphasis on really, that the opportunity for me, well, actually, there's a couple things. One is playing this all on a grid makes editing just so much easier. You know, I can comp take if I want to. So they're just huge. Shit, I forgot my other reason. The actual one. Oh, just listening back to yourself. That's where you get so much feedback from. You're going to hear, hey, I always rush this 16th note. I always rush this 8th note. Or in my case, I'm rushing everything. Anybody who's serious about playing music at a high level, if you could sit and record yourself over and over again and listen back diligently, that's gonna that's gonna bring you farther along than anything else is going to do. So let's listen and watch me suffer. All right, that's enough of that. All right, you get the idea though. And what I noticed when I was doing my lives is doing just those three different ideas, made playing that beat so much easier. That's really what we're going for. And through that, we're going to develop better technique on everything as well. All right, we got to do at least 1,000 more of those. And 3, and 4, and. You know, with my kick drum, I'm really listening to the amount of space that on that and 4 and. So of those 3 exercises, I feel like this one's coming along the best at this tempo. And again, there's nothing wrong in the world, nothing in the world wrong with me having to do this again tomorrow. Like, there is so much goodness from learning this idea of the song that will pay dividends, is what I'm telling myself. And 2. That 4 ends weird. So that's probably the best. Now, because I love punishing myself, I'd really like to go back to this one. Yeah, nah, I'm going back and forth. Nah, let's not do it. Let's not punish myself, are you guys? Let's try to do the beat at this tempo. And again, it might turn out that I dump all of that, do it again tomorrow, or I find one that's good. I think moving to a faster tempo is going to be the right idea after this one. And we go from there. So beat. This is the actual beat of the song. That's what you guys all want to learn. What students don't often realize sometimes is you have to learn stuff to get to playing that stuff. So, you know. All right, so we got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E. Let's play that tighter in my demonstration. Now, I don't think I need to tell you why I like all those different exercises, but like just teaching my leg to go, not even leg, just to get my body to go 1 E, 1 E, 1 E, right? It's easier if it's just, that's pretty possible for me to do. A little bit harder. Same thing with this offbeat. Yeah, I noticed doing these exercises, I play it cleaner, I play it crisper, I'm tighter. Not there. All right, let's play it at 45 and see what happens. This would be the beat, and 2 E and 3. So one thing I can tell you guys right away, I actually just changed this before we got started, so I definitely need a little bit more click. That mix between it's deafening you, but you still hear it. All right, let's try this again. Felt like everything was okay. It's easy again at this tempo for me to rush. Sometimes the magic thing is just 5 to 10 BPM faster, and it'll be just easier for you. It might just be, you know, doing the wrong tempo, which again, I'd rather do that live, figure this out here, figure it out together, you know. And who knows, you might even from that come up with your own ideas and tell me like, hey, bro, I practiced it this way and this is way easier. And I'll be like, cool, I'll try that. I wonder, it may not keep all of that recording. Nope, okay, it did. That's okay. It's a little bit of an endurance playing it that slow and keeping good leg posture. Let's try it again. It's just slow. Try one more time. Try it one time and not rush the downbeat though. Tough thing was I was feeling the groove on that one. I say that, but I probably wasn't. There was no groove. All right. So I am going to move to faster tempos. Now, I'm not against doing these later and seeing if I can get them better. All right. So this is 45. I say we try 55 for this one. I kind of left this intentionally nondescript because I wasn't sure. I want slow enough that it's like possible for people to play right away. You might say, you might want to include myself in that list, but for sure, like I want to make sure that somebody who isn't comfortable playing drums could jump in and get an understanding of this beat without too much other stuff having to practice. It was a backwards sentence, but you get the idea. So we're just going to jump back to exercise 1. Now here's what's going to happen. I might magically get better at these. I may not. I might get worse. But tomorrow I will definitely be better at all of these different ideas, and that is called practice. That might be, again, more for me than anybody else. All right, so 55, like I said, might be easier. We're about to find out. It might be worse. We're about to find out. So back to the first exercise where we went 1 E and 2 E. Now, I already feel like I'm way more warmed up, and that was tighter than anything else I recorded. So let's hear the tempo. 2 E and 3 E and 4 and 1 E. Okay, let's just jump right into record and go from there. Felt way better about that one already. Some beginning and ends were a little rough. Frick! I was getting that 16th. Let's see if it actually was any good. But I was getting that 16th note groove down and closing my eyes, which I do a little bit too much probably when I'm playing, and totally forgot about 4 and. But let's have a listen. So, rush the shit out of 1, as you heard. You know, again, listening back and giving myself that feedback is some of the best practice that I can have. Just, you know, it'd be nice if I didn't do it in a way that embarrassed me, but can't win everything. Wait, did I rush that beat? Or did I play it so perfect? I doubt that. So let's zoom in. Wait. That'd be the kick. So yeah, I was just way ahead of where I should be on that. I don't even know what happened there. Oh wait, is that the one before? I don't know. Okay, so other than rushing it, there was coming a groove. A groove was beholden to us. It was about to be born. All right. So I like this tempo much better already. You can probably tell that. At the same time, I feel like mastering the slower tempo is never going to hurt me as well. But all right, this is the tempo we're going to focus on. We're going to try to get through all 4 of these. We're about 35 minutes in, so I'd say all 4 of these, and we're probably going to go back to the other one, and then we're going to try to put it back together. probably that all isn't going to happen. We'll see. We'll see when I burn out. Already felt way better about that. So I don't feel like any of that was good. It's like good adjacent, like it could be good if I keep practicing. So that's just what tonight's session's probably going to be. Because I can't see myself listening back to this and being like, oh, that was good enough. Let's move on. It's more like, oh, yeah, I need another 40 minutes in this. Let's just check it out. It's very weird how this pattern is looking. Like, that kick did not start there. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that. Actually, that worries me enough. Okay, no, it's right. Okay. Whew. I feel like the new Logic update has a couple little bugs in it because it was the other day. No, it was in Premiere Pro. I was looking at an audio file and it wasn't lining up with what I was hearing. I was like, what the hell? 3 and 4 and it's not terrible. There's some good things in there. Wholly unsteady though. Okay, let's do one more. And we'll go from there and see what happens. We don't really need to review that because it's the best so far, though that doesn't say a lot in this context, but let's just listen. The best so far. A lot of times it takes me like 2 measures to get the idea going. So that might just be something where I track. Let's see where that downbeat is again. So I'm here. The downbeat is not with me. I don't know who's to blame, me or the metronome. I'm making a flam on the downbeat. That's good. It's good. The song has a flam in it too. All right. Let's go to the next idea, exercise number 2. This will also be easier at a faster tempo. Though I think as somebody who wants to be a drummer, I have to have ownership of both fast and slow tempos. Again, oftentimes students will be like, I can play this fast though, I don't need to work on this. It's like, well, you don't even understand what you're playing, really. Like, we have to break this down and actually like understand it so you know what you're doing. You don't have to count everything, but you have to be able to, like, I don't know, demonstrate it to me. One thing that I've been doing lately is like, show me how to play this. And not even, it sounded like I was saying it in a dick way, it's just my voice, but it's just more like, show me how you play this. And then a student having to teach it to me is a great way for them to really learn what they learn, like how to do it. You don't all have to read sheet music. You don't have to know everything. You have to know what you're playing, though, and be able to show it to me. And usually to show it to somebody else, you have to slow it down a little bit. All right, tempo again. Exercise number 2, 2E. So we got this 1E, 2E. Oh, shoot. Mute this is what I meant to say. There we go. So we got 1E, 2E. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3. So just a little bit slower than what I was doing. 1E and a 2E and a 3. So I find that easier to play than the other idea, but we'll see if it's actually in time. Some of my flams are just shite. Let's listen. I don't think it was terrible. So, I mean, in my mind, what I can hear so far is the metronome kind of disappears in these first 4 beats. It's really, I mean, ideally it would be nice. That's good. It's good. Maybe I was right on. But then that second measure, that and 4, or 4 and, is enough to throw me off. Now, again, tightening this up is going to help me tomorrow when I try to do, another one of these and then probably do the actual beat. If I have time for both those things, which I don't. But you get the idea. 3E and a 4E and and then it just falls apart. I mean, there's probably something in there that's usable. The other thing is, take the metronome out. Can you hear the rushing? Does it sound tight without the metronome? That one might have a little bit of lag on the 4, but overall, like that measure that I thought sounded good does sound good without metronome. It's a good way to evaluate it. Not every song's played with the click. Now, I still believe that you need to practice a ton with the click. I probably need to practice more than anyone else does. That will make you a really good drummer. And just a good overall musician. You don't need to record with a click, but play with one so often that you don't need to record with one. Though I know, I think it was this song. I know Butch Vig was talking about asking Dave Grohl to play with the metronome. There's a good story. Just type in Dave Grohl metronome Butch Vig. They'll explain it better than I ever could. All right, let's do this again. Yeah, I'll tell you right away. A lot of this is just me getting used to this format. Now, I'm not a good drummer. I'm an okay musician at best. Um, but just starting to get comfortable with these ideas, right? And maybe 45 was too slow. 55 sounds like a really good tempo for me. Just to kind of get these ideas fleshed out. But like I said, I will go back to those slow tempos because I like to suffer. I like to feel a little bit of pain in my life. All right, so exercise 3, we're doing this offbeat idea. 1 E and 2 E. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. It's your tempo. 2 E and and. Dude, like practicing this offbeat idea is gonna make you a good drummer. Just give me 7 to 12 years. 7 to 12 years, I'll be a pretty good drummer. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. And 4 and 1 and 2 and I screwed it all up. Sorry, I got distracted. All right, let's try that again. Didn't care for that one at all. Let's do another one. Kind of like started like dancing my seat a little bit and lost my focus. Couldn't keep my brain on it. Let's listen to it. I might cut that one down to 4 or do it tomorrow. Felt pretty good about that one until it fell apart. So just that first one caught me off guard. Just that one and a 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3. Let's listen to that again. Either I was just so off of time, and again, here's the great thing about this grid, right? Like, probably can't do it right now because it's hard for me to see, but I can lock in and see like, oh man, every single eighth note or eighth note would be the hi-hat. That's what I'm looking at wrong. Every single eighth note is lined up. All right, let's just do this. So rushing all of that. There we go. And then I just totally fell off my rockers. All right, we're going to do one more of those. Now, I said this during my lives, and I mean it. Like, I'm okay with these not being good because I'm learning how to play this drum beat. So when I do the lives, it's like, all right, well, I'm practicing, right? Like, I'm doing 4 of these in a row anyway. And maybe 1 out of 4 is good. The problem is what's going to bring me to a higher level is having to do 4 of these in a row, and they have to be good enough that I can quantize them, and Logic doesn't go like, what do you mean? What do you mean you want this in time? This is so far out of time. This could not be in time if I wanted to be in time. So, all right, one more. I lost focus. All right, we're gonna move, we're gonna move to beat and then call it a night. So, you know, about an hour in on this is not bad. An hour in, knowing that again, like I'm gonna have to redo all of these so far, but this was the warm up to redo them all. So now we're trying for 6 in a row of just. All right, tempo would be 2E and 3E and 1E and all right, again, 1E and 2E and we can listen to that one and see if it's bad. I'm guessing it's not great. So not terrible so far. Then I start to fall apart a little bit. Yeah, start rushing the kick drum. Now again, in my mind, that was an hour long, getting my butt kicked with the kick drum. Butt kick, kick drum. Yeah, there's something in there. So just in that alone is a great practice. All right, so we're going to have to obviously do another one of these tomorrow, guys. I hope you check it out. Like,